Hello.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, wait. I think her name's Rachel, right?
Yeah.
Rachel. She said she was first.
Hey, Rachel. I love it. I feel
I
like the
love
hand should go like this.
it. Yep.
So be aware, I lost my voice. I made a joke about screaming at all the kids to pay attention. But no, my daughter gave me her cold
Oh,
and I lost it yesterday, so
Hi, Hannah. Hi, Kristen.
hey, Hannah. Hey, Kristen.
Um, I told Monica, like, I think you just TBR too hard for the readathon, right? That's what it was.
I think that's what
Man.
I was yelling at so many great books. Listen, this last month I had 12 5 stars. And that's never
Wow.
happened before. I'm like,
You read
so
a lot of good ones.
I read some really good ones, and two of them were
Wait, you had 12
out of
five
my
stars
favorites.
during the readathon?
No, all in the
Oh, the month. Oh,
all the whole month. I had two five
nice.
stars in from this readathon. Her Ruthless Duke by Scarlett Scott, and the yeah, it's possible when you read 29 books. It's
Yeah.
possible
And you're a big audiobook reader too, so you were able to
to get them out. Yeah.
good it out, yeah. That's which is awesome. Well, thanks, Melody. I'm glad you had fun.
But Matt,
It
I'm
was
glad it
so
was.
fun. You did such a good job, Crystal.
It was my first time, so I probably failed in a lot of areas, but hey, I
No, you
just
did
for fun.
great.
oh my gosh, Hannah, that is fantastic. Yeah, the other one was The Madness of Viscount Etherborn by Elisa Braden.
Oh, yay,
Okay.
Hannah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah, Lisa
yay.
Braden. She's on my list to read.
She started with that, so the first book in the Ruinous, um,
Abolish the reading slump. I
yeah,
love it.
Rescued from Ruin series. And
Hannah's son is a June baby. I'm a June baby too.
yeah, my mom is a June baby, so we are doing.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel kind of proud of myself when I can get 8 books done because lately I've just been able to get 6, which is unfortunate because I do some audiobooks during a long car ride, but I was trying to read like the Outlander ones and it was 45 hours of an audiobook, so this took me a long time. Like the first 2 books took me so long.
Yeah.
Oh, your son's turning
Oh
3.
my
Oh,
goodness. Tell him happy birthday.
birthday.
Can't believe he's 3. It's
My,
wild. They grow so fast. And
how
like
I
old
you
are
don't even know it.
how old are yours?
Mine are 13 and 11.
Mine are 16, and she's going to be 15.
Wow.
8
Yeah.
and well, 8 and 4 gonna be 9 and 5 this year. So
Oh my. Yep. That's fun
yes.
stages though. Teen stages, man, though. Whew. You're gonna wipe me out.
Listen, once that puberty button is pushed, thank you, Inside Out. It is unreal, all the drama.
All right. Well, I have a question for you all. I'm a slow reader, so I only got like 4 books, which I'm proud of. I have 5 historical through the month, but how many books were you able to read during the readathon?
Oh, I need to calculate. I think either 4 or 5, but I did read one other historical romance in the beginning of the month. Um, but like I think it was like 4, 3, 4. See, I'm gonna go calculate because now I really want to know.
Yeah, I like
So
to keep track. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll forget to update Goodreads and
I
everything. So I always gotta make sure I keep it updated.
I need to be better with it.
and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 8 or 9.
4 for the readathon, which is pretty good for me. I usually only
That's
average
2 a
like
week,
5 or
really.
6 a
Yeah,
month, and I think I got 4 just during these 2 weeks. So that's
that's
pretty good.
really good. Yeah,
Oh, good
that's
job,
awesome.
Melody.
Yes. Oops.
Hey,
Just
Christina.
I read 4 in a month, but 2 in the readathon, and one was a novella that got me. But hey, I had
There
one
you go,
novella
that's
too.
fine.
I count them as 4. It's 4
They're
books.
books. They are.
I
They're
read
books.
9.
This is about it.
I read
Go
9.
ahead.
Wow, good
9.
job.
I did
Awesome.
Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, which was a reread,
Uh-huh.
and I hated it still. But that's
The
okay.
lesser popular. Yeah.
I had an arc of The Lady Plays with Fire by Susanna Craig. It was pretty good. Then I reread A Knight in Shining Armor by Jude Devereux. Love that book. Still 5 stars. Then I reread An Offer from the Gentleman, and I love Sophie as a character. Like, she's fantastic. So
That's why I think I really like that book. It's
yeah,
really Sophie. Yeah.
doesn't take his crap. I love it.
I know. Yeah.
And then I had to read Worth Any Price for the Ravished by Romance, and so I read that one, and we read Her Ruthless Duke for that was one of my 5 stars, and then and that was on my TBR. His Forbidden Touch by Shelley Thacker. That's book 3 in the Stolen Brides. The first book in that series is a time travel. I did not know that. I wish I had known that.
Cool.
Known that.
Yeah.
That's
Because
cool.
I would have.
Funny.
Yeah, but
I would have fulfilled the prompt. Yeah.
yeah, that was actually and it was an adventure story, Bodyguard. It was fantastic. It was medieval. I loved it.
Awesome.
And then The Madness of Viscount Atherborn, Sweetest, and then by Elisa Braden, and then Sweetest Scoundrel by Elizabeth Hoyt from the Main Lane series.
Wow, you did good.
Okay, yeah, I only read the first one in that series. Yeah.
And then I stopped reading historical romances altogether for a
Yeah, I needed a little bit of a break after. Yeah.
Christina, let us know your channel so we can subscribe. She said she just started one today.
Hi everyone. Sorry.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments so we can all head over.
Finishing up my 5th for the readathon. Nice.
Oh my goodness, good job.
Nice.
I feel like should we call you the chameleon or let us
I know.
know.
I always feel bad. I'm like, I don't know the names. And Abigail's like, I started late, but I read 4 historicals and watched Bridgerton season 3 part 1 as I lot of us. But yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good job, Abby.
Good to know.
Hey, it just means we ended the readathon. We have like 2 more weeks left to wait for part 2.
Yeah,
I know.
I did watch it as well during the readathon too.
Did you have any 5 stars, Tara?
Yes, I actually had 2. I had The Highwayman, and then I had An Offer from a Gentleman, which I really enjoyed, which I know it's very polarizing. I noticed on Goodreads. Like, you either love it or you hate it, but I really enjoyed the Cinderella retelling.
Yeah. I had 1 5-star, which was A Matter of Temptation by Stacey Reed. So
I'm so glad you loved it, though.
And now I'm like, I gotta read everything now that she has.
Yeah.
B is, I think, she has a family travel thing today?
Yeah, they're at a cabin, I believe. I think they went on a little
She might join in the comments, she said. So, yeah, I think it's just us 3 tonight. I think everyone else had family plans. So, and that was the point, was I just want to make this as, like, no pressure. If you could join, that's awesome. Because I know we have lives and different schedules. So, I really B did oh my gosh, she did 2 lives?
Yep.
She did a live. She joined a live. Like, she's amazing.
She is.
So who won in the end for the dating game? Because I had to leave to go to sleep.
Oh, who was it?
The Duke?
Was it the Duke? Did we end up with the Duke? I think we did.
Yeah, which is fitting for historical romance.
Yeah, which worked out perfectly.
Yeah,
it was close there with the pirate, I think.
I know. I wanted a combination billionaire Duke something.
Make me a book where he's a Duke and he has a pirate background and
James Mallory.
Gothic castle. There we go.
James Mallory. He's a not a Duke, but he's up there in their.
I think he's like an earl or something. Yeah.
He's an earl. Okay.
I think. I may be wrong.
And he's a pirate. Well, a retired pirate by the time we get to his book.
Gentle Rogue is like one of the OG and like well loved, and so it's like if you're going to read historic romance, eventually you're always going to want to at least try out the.
I have Gentle Rogue on my shelf that I definitely want to get to because I've heard that's such a good one by Joanna Lindsay.
But you need to read the first two first, really. You do.
Yeah, you probably at least the second book to get the context on because he has an interaction with the heroine in the second book. Um, but it has a lot of it's more focused on the action, so the romance isn't as prevalent. It's more fun, I should say.
Okay.
It's more fun. Yeah.
I think I have maybe the first two as well. I have a bunch of Johanna Lindsay that I end up finding at like a secondhand store. And so I don't know. I need to look what they actually are.
Oh,
like where
I
they
don't
go.
love just with the covers alone. They're beautiful.
They are.
Hold on a minute.
I can't believe Hannah read 20 books this month. That's amazing, Hannah.
DNF plus a bunch of super early DNFs. I don't really. Yeah, I do the same thing, Hannah. I'm like, I don't ever count them yet, and then they're just fitting the
beautiful.
Mood. 5 for Readathon. Oh yeah, I have that one.
Is why it did not come with me to the beach because I was not gonna.
That one is stunning.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
I started reading this one.
I like it. It's like a paranormal-y one.
Yeah, the first page is our sister is marrying a vampire. Portia announced. I was like, sold.
So Hannah read 5 for the Readathon. That's awesome.
Good job.
Congrats, Katina.
Yay.
I'm behind the comments. You can call Joanna. Okay, sorry.
Joanna. Okay, we'll call you Joanna.
I was able to 4.5.
Kim said I was able to read 4.5 books for the Readathon. I did DNF one about 100 pages in.
That's good though. That's still awesome. Good job, Kim.
Yeah, and then they said the Duke. Yep.
Yeah, the Duke.
Awesome. Okay, so question number 2 for you guys, and then I think we can probably do some of the giveaway box thing and then do a sprint.
Sure.
What was your favorite book from a Readathon? I think we talked about a little bit of them. So mine was A Matter of Temptation by Stacey Reed. And Tara had, what was your favorite?
I feel like I can't, it's like picking my children. I'm just kidding. I loved The Highwayman and I loved An Offer from a Gentleman, but I think if I had to pick, it would be The Highwayman. I just love that dark historical romance. They're torn apart, class difference. It was so good. So I haven't
found a dark historical romance since The Highwayman. I feel like
you need to read more from her, right?
Yeah, I do. And I read the Hunter wasn't as my favorite, and then I read the Highlander, which those were both 4 stars, but I'm hoping the Duke, the 4th one, because I heard that's a lot of people's favorite, second to the Highwayman in that series. So
yeah,
I'm hoping. But I tried to read Untouched, and that was way too dark for me. The on page.
So it's a little bit too dark.
Like I like the dark, like almost dangerous kind of thing. Dangerous that way, toxic a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yay, Joanna. We're the same. I'm so glad you loved Get Thee Off My Lawn. That was so fun. The swan problem. I loved it. It's great. And there's a bathtub scene. Wonderful.
Even in The Highwayman, like, what is it with the bathtub scene?
I think I'm going to do a video that is recommending books with bathtub scenes because people love them.
I gotta watch that.
There was this one book that we tried to read for historical Hellions. Mm-hmm. I think it was a Connie. It was taking place in the West, and it was called Virgin Fire, and you had a bathtub on there because she was coming down to Texas to an oil town, and she was the only one with a bathtub, so she was supposed to be wooed for her bathtub, right? Totally not the vibe of that book. It was a second chance romance, and it was like, oh, come on.
They tricked you.
They tricked us, and we're all like, because we're all excited for this bathtub book where they were going to be wooed for a bathtub, which was going to be fun. That sounded like so much fun, but it was different.
Thanks, Kristen. She said, I loved hanging out with all of you the past 2 weeks. Yeah, that was, I think, the most fun I had was the live shows. That's for sure.
Yeah. Live shows were so fun. And then even in the Discord, just chatting, it was nice.
Yes.
terrible at Discord. I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't. What is? I have no. Okay, you need to talk to April. She is like a stand for that book. She loves it. I haven't read it yet, but apparently it's really
so
funny.
good.
It is so
I
good.
heard about it from April at the last
Yeah,
readathon,
okay.
and it is a novella. It's a short one, but it's like there's hijinks with a swan. She has a swan as like a pet, and like she ends up she ends up falling
cover is
into like
beautiful,
the
yeah.
pond from her neighbor, and it's like the gorgeous neighbor. So they have like a fun meet cute. Definitely try it out, Megan.
Yeah,
Oh yes, it is on Kindle Unlimited. That's where I read it.
that's where I read it, and I loved it. Like
You loved it, and you bought a book.
Oh, I read it, and I went out and bought the paper bag because I was like, I gotta have it on my shelves because I loved it so
it's
much.
so good.
I read it last year, and I just love it, and I've continued on in her series. She's a really good writer.
I haven't read any more from her. I didn't realize she had any more.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely check it out, Megan.
Yes. All right. Let me see. Love the cover and the title. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really funny. All right. Shall we go and start with some books?
Yeah.
And showcasing for our options for the
Yes.
giveaway. Tell me if there's any that we shouldn't. So the idea, of course, is these ones will have step backs, but I was able to find like 3 copies of my favorite.
Wow.
All the same version.
Wow.
That is really nice.
So I figured each box would get one of these.
Yeah.
So that's one that would probably be the same for everyone. If there's someone who doesn't want it, whoever wins, I can take it out. If you don't want it, it's fine. So, but I'm like, it's whoever wins. All right. And, okay, so let's go for more mass market. I have also one of my favorites. It doesn't have, it's not the one with the step back, unfortunately, but one of my favorites.
Yes.
We're gonna do a giveaway.
You got to turn. Don't forget to turn in your cards though, so like you can win for the giveaway.
Yes. So as a reminder, if there's a Discord link, if you're not in the Discord, you just got to message the Ever After Readathon. DM me. That's basically me, but the Ever After Readathon, that one. Don't do my personal one because I just want to make sure I can keep it straight. So the Ever After Readathon, go to that one and send me your bingo card. Or if you don't have a bingo card, send me a picture if you're doing like little bingo card
on like paper.
Drawing. Yeah, paper. That works too. I know some people aren't able to do that. But basically, if you get a blackout, you get 3 entries. If you have at least 1 bingo, you get 2 entries. And if you have a partial but no bingo, you get at least 1 entry. So that's the kind of thing I made it kind of thing for that. So
So DM on Instagram, not Books Forever After. What is it?
The Ever After
Readathon or Discord channel, right? Those are the 2 ways.
Yeah, there's a giveaway submissions channel on the giveaway where you can submit that. So everyone will see all the submissions, and then that way I can keep track, so I can put it in the little spinning thingy. So it makes it easier, so I'm not searching for everyone. I don't want to miss anybody.
Yeah, of course. Hey, Terry.
And I heard some people don't do international, but I'm trying to make sure. I want to see if I can. I don't know if there's anyone who's international, but if not, I can always do. I think that's where I said give the option for a gift card thing, for an Amazon gift card or the wish list, whatever. So
yeah,
I want to make it as fair as I could. All right.
Yeah, Megan's Canada.
Okay, so I haven't shipped anything there, so I can try and see what I can do. So I'm pretty close to the border. I'm in Ohio, so we'll see.
You can meet her across.
Maybe that will work. I don't know.
That'll work. I'm just kidding.
I'm a goober. Okay, we have Again the Magic.
Oh, of course, love it.
No setback, unfortunately. They just.
I don't have that. Hard. I have the.
Yeah, it's actually really hard to find setbacks where I'm at. To be honest.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then We have Where Dreams Begin by Lisa Kleypas,
That
and
one's
it is a step back.
pretty.
Have that. And then we have Midnight Angel by Lisa Kleypas. That
I
does
haven't
sound
even heard of that one. That's beautiful, though.
I don't think I've read this one, so I have a copy of this one as well. So I'm hoping to.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay.
So I was so ecstatic when I found that. I'm like, yes. And then, and there are pictures of these two in the Discord. It's the prizes section. Okay, which one, Hannah? I have two.
I think it was it the one with the step back, maybe?
Two of the setbacks. Probably the Where Dreams Begin, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that
Or
one
they're
is
both
gorgeous. They're both gorgeous. They are, right? Yes, Anna.
All right. And then these ones do not have a setback, but they're like these copies that I got like years ago. But I don't remember if this is the right order. Okay. Sir Philip with Love.
Oh,
Eloise is the one. Oh, the one with flowers. Yeah, Where Dreams Begin. I was like, that's a really pretty one.
yeah, that one with the flower cutout is just gorgeous. And then the step back, that's really pretty.
Yeah. And then we have When He Was Wicked.
Ooh.
Love that
Which is
book.
like the
Yeah,
spiciest.
Monica, you like that one? You said, was that one your favorite?
That's one of my favorites. It's not the favorite, but it's like,
Okay.
yeah, well, they change with my mood.
I mean,
Yeah, Opera from a Gentleman and this one always battle it out for me because the Opera from a Gentleman was the first one that I read and it had like it was really closely to the Cinderella retelling. This
But
one has like the
my-
spiciest, the most like angst feeling, and there's a scene with a table in here that's divine.
But Michael is just sorry. My cats are coming in for their treats tonight. Michael though, the way he pines.
I
Definitely.
can't wait to get to it. I'm only,
Okay,
like I said, I got
you
the
need
third
to go away. Thank you very much, my sister. She just went.
Then we have this one,
Yes.
and then we have 7 and then 8.
Wow. Awesome.
There
Those
we
are
go.
so pretty. I love the covers.
Yes, those versions I do like.
Yeah.
When
Right,
he
and then-
it's in his kiss. Love that one too.
I wanted to say good
And
job,
then-
Terry. She read so many books. She did say there were novellas, but still, good job. And then she
Oh,
said
yeah,
that
and she-
Lisa Bestwick was her favorite. I need to read that
Yeah.
one. Everybody
I heard good
love
things about
it.
that one.
I
I
read
think
it in 2020, and I still think about that book.
Oh, wow. So
well,
it's a good
then
one.
that's important. I need to move it up higher in the TBR.
Right?
And then I have a couple of Stephanie Lawrence from the Bastion Club, and these do have stepbacks.
Okay.
There's Beyond Seduction, and she
Oh,
has
look
like
at
the best
those.
stepbacks. Stephanie
Oh,
Lawrence are really pretty.
stunning.
So that's
Look
really
at that
pretty.
hair. It's like windblown.
Yes,
It's gorgeous. You found some good ones.
I did. This is all from like library sales, and some of these were my older copies that I had.
That's
And then we
amazing.
have A Fine Passion, which I saw somebody put this one already for setback Saturday ones. And
Oh,
this
that
a
is
double page.
stunning with the 2-page step back. Oh my, are those cherry blossoms?
Yes.
Oh, I love cherry blossoms. So pretty.
It's so pretty.
Also, sorry if you can hear my dog drinking. Side note.
Your dog is drinking. My cat is chewing. So
All
I'm
right, and then
like, I
the
need
next
myself.
The next small batch is just ones that I recently did on my new bookcase that I put together. These are the unhauls from that, so I wasn't sure if anybody wanted these. Most of these I enjoyed. I just don't see rereading these. Those are really pretty. I like
Yes,
to smell
Joanna.
the Japanese cherry blossom too.
Yeah.
All right, we have The Duke I Once Knew by Olivia Drake. I don't know if anybody else has heard of this author.
Yeah. That's a nice clinch.
Yeah, I think this was a 3-star, but it was pretty good. It was okay.
I mean, everybody's taste is different, so maybe somebody might love it.
Yes, and then I have Johanna Lindsay, No Choice But Seduction, and this one does have a step back.
So pretty. I love her step backs.
Over there. And then Jude Devereaux, A Knight in Shining Armor. No step back on this one. But it is
Pretty.
embossed. What you call it, yeah. And then this one, I was so ecstatic because it's a Beauty and Beast retelling, and it's set in like Georgian or whatever. Whenever they steamboat, so it's like after Regency, I think, or no, it's called what we would call in the Gilded Age, kind of, but in England, Victorian, whatever,
Okay.
maybe. I may be wrong. I can't remember. But this is Beast by Judith Ivory.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast retelling?
Yeah. And it has a step back.
Oh, that
really
is so pretty. That's
this
a gorgeous
one. Yeah, this one I didn't like, but someone might like it. I don't. This one.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those like you love it or you hate it one.
Oh, okay. So it's like polarizing.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And then A Gentle Feuding. This one does not have a step back, which I did like this. It's a solid Highland romance.
Okay. That's not part of the Mallory Anderson, right?
No, it's just standalone.
Okay. Gotcha.
Standalone by itself. It's not. I'm not even part of the series. I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then we had The Perks of Loving a Wallflower. I read this during the romance readathon with Maggie last August.
Oh.
And this one was fun. I just wish there was more of the romance. I wanted more of the romance. I felt like it was what you call it? Just focus on the hijinks and stuff, and I wanted more of their relationship and them getting to know each other.
Yeah. I haven't read that one. I think B might have read that one too.
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the first part. Do we want to do a sprint and then we can do the second half, which is all the trade paperback and some hardcovers?
Sure. I agree, Abby.
Thanks. Oh, the clinch cover. Nice.
I think I have that one too, actually, if I remember correctly.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's always hit or miss where I'm at. And lately there hasn't been very many historicals at all because people are just
I periodically check, and I didn't have very many. Like the last time I went to I go to a thrift store near me, and they didn't have any. But then the time before that, they had 2. So it's like it's kind of hit and miss, like you said.
Yeah, definitely. Well, do we want to do a sprint and then?
Yeah.
I'm good for a sprint.
All right. I don't know what are you guys reading? Do we want to do like a 20-minute?
Sure. I'm still reading A Scoundrel of Her Own by Stacey Reid, but I am almost halfway, and I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. I feel like it's going to probably likely be a 4-star, just because I feel like it's like had some stuff in the beginning, and then it kind of like petered off, and then now it's beginning up again. So, but I mean, still, Stacey Reid. So,
right.
Stacey Reid. I've never given anything from her below a 4-star.
Me neither. So it'll likely be a 4.
I am reading Irresistible by Willow Astor for a read along. Okay. So this is book 3 in the Landmark Mountain series. And this is the only one I've liked so far.
Awesome.
That's not historical, right?
No, it's a contemporary.
Okay.
I have like 40 minutes left on the audiobook. I actually read Forbidden Kingdom by Laura Pavlov because I got an ARC for it, and she mentioned the series in that book. I thought that was really
fun. Very cool.
Halfway through Flowers for the Devil, and this is Joanna, right? Did I remember right?
You did.
Good. I'm so bad with remembering names, so
I want to read this one, the one that Joanna's reading, Flowers for the Devil. That one keeps on going up higher in my priority list because I feel like it was very popular at the other historical romance readathon last August, and then people have read it here too. So I feel like I want to read it.
Highlanders, Afi said Highlanders Princess Bride by Vanessa Kelly and really enjoyed it. I haven't heard of that. Interesting.
My cat's being really cute. Just sitting here, just kind of laughing at her.
Well, Oh, she said it's really good. It's so good. Yeah, Terry's the one that's like she's advocating for everyone to read Flower for the Devil.
It is on my Goodreads to read.
But Terry, it looks like Christmas with the snow. And so my brain is like, no, I don't want to read it during summer. I can't read it. I have to read it in the fall or winter. So please tell my brain to stop saying that.
Seasonal reader.
Yeah, it's really
It's a problem.
I'm the problem. So I'm still reading the ones I was reading. I'm reading like 3-4 different books, always at a time. I think I'm gonna put a pause on this one because I don't want to get burnt out.
Yeah,
it's really good so far though. I know that I'm like, so the action in part is really good, but I want to save it for July.
Okay.
And was switching because I had to switch because I offset between those three content, romantic, historical, and contemporary. So I'm reading these Hollow Vows. It's a YA fantasy romance. Briefly kind of described like a little bit of Akator, but it sounds like she might have shadow magic, I think. Okay. And it might be similar to, what's the other one? Shadow and Bone, maybe? I don't know. I heard it might be kind of like that too, but I'm only 50% in yet, so.
Okay.
You said it's not a Christmas story. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, well, no, it's not a Christmas story. I'm reading the Love Can Be a Devil and a Saint, a scarred vigilante titled Beauty, 2 secrets, 1 fateful encounter, 2 lies, 1 truth, a happening that left London speechless, a witness the entire city. On December 19th, 1851, a crime took place in the center of London. One of the few who knows what truly happened is Countess Elena Bonskaya, I think that's how you say it, but she will never speak of it. The crime is her curse and her salvation. Her culprits are the men who gave her their hearts. One is a gentleman devil, the other is the Duke of Raven. I'm saying that wrong. This is a story of redemption, and in the center of it all, love, passionate, overpowering, changing the course of history, the sort of love that can ruin a man, the one that can save him. Flowers for the Devil is a dark Victorian romance with tormented villain, strong heroine, forbidden love, secret identity, and diverse character tropes.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
You know how I like to torture the heroes.
I know. That's what I was thinking when she said dark. I was like, oh, Crystal.
I love a love
triangle. Not a love triangle. I literally just put it on my TBR when you were saying it, so I looked it up. Yeah, someone's saying a masterpiece of a story.
Yeah, Terry said it was well crafted. So.
Oh yeah. Well, April had wanted to put it for one of our mood reader book club options because we like to alternate between fantasy romance for her channel and historical romance. So maybe I need to put that for July now.
Yes, I'll be okay with that.
I think you should.
I gotta see if April's in the mood because we are a big mood reader.
Of course, of course. Oh, and women in STEM. How cool.
Okay, I like that. Was a good beginner historical romance.
Lisa Davis.
Everyone says Tested Air. Lisa, yeah, Tested Air. The best
This one, in my opinion.
My opinion, one of the first ones I ever read. Well, as an adult, okay. When I started getting back into historicals was 9 Rules to Break When Romancing a Rake by Sarah McLean. I love that book. But before that, I read a lot of Lisa Kleypas. I would start with the Hathaways, because that is a really great place. It's a shorter series. The other one you could also start with is the Wallflower series. Another,
That's where
another
I started. Well, that's what series I at least started with.
You could also start with, if you're going to go more contemporary, I would start with Stacy Reed, and I would start with The Wolf and the Wildflower because that's a standalone.
It's a standalone. Yeah, that's true.
And so that's a really good place to start with her. But also My Darling Duke, which is a fantastic book.
Amazing. Has like disability rep in it too.
And it's done impeccably well.
Yeah.
After reading A Matter for Interpretation, if you're coming from contemporary billionaire romances, start with that one, because I was like just reading it. I'm like, wow, this really scratched that itch if you like billionaire romances.
Or even like workplace
employee.
romance as well.
Yeah.
Or workplace too. Yeah.
I love that book. That book is so much fun.
It is.
If you're going to start with Julie Garwood, start with The Secret. I didn't actually start with The Secret, but I would tell anybody start with The Secret.
I think that one. Yeah, and a lot of them are Highland romances, and I think I read The Bride recently, and I hadn't read Julie Garwood in a while, and I'm like, I know there's a favorite of mine of hers, so I think it was The Secret. So I'm like, now I'm like, I need to read that one again.
Yeah. Or The Gift. The Gift was a lot of fun, and that was a pirate one.
Yeah, I agree with Abby Jean though. Tessa Dare is really good with, because it's lighter of a tone, it's humorous, and then it's also like she's more contemporary in a historical setting, like her writing.
It's more modern writing. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Exactly. But if you're going to do a Julia Quinn,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you wanted to read Julia Quinn and not do Bridgerton, do the Smythe Smith.
Those are fun.
Those are so much fun. Like the Smythe Smiths, they need more representation in the Bridgerton series. I love those books. Just Like Heaven is one of my favorite books from her.
Yeah, they're in the same world as the Bridgertons. Yeah.
Yeah, they are in the same world. Because you see Lady Danbury in the Smythe Smith books.
Oh.
So, and they are.
I haven't heard of her. Thank you, Terry.
Yeah. I find I do like the rom-com kind of feeling of like more modern historical romances like Tessa Dare and such. And I think one of the topics on Threads right now was how historical romance is dying, which I'm like, I'm still here, so apparently there's not dead.
It is.
But I think also there's this back and forth on like historical romance needs a revamp on the marketing, and I think they're stuck to that because they're not. I think part of it is the accessibility, because even in my Walmart where they used to have historicals, they got rid of it in Target. They used to have it in my Walmart. It's not there anymore, really. Not like
Barnes and Noble too scaled down their section of historical romance.
You know what? One live that I was in the comment section on, I think it was the historical Hellions, we were talking about it, and one of the best ideas I ever heard was have like the actors from the Bridgerton series do clinch covers and have them release clinch covers with the actors. I was like, I'd buy that crap up real quick. I'd even buy Romancing Mr. Bridgerton if they did that, because
I feel like need to come back too. Like, why did we do away with those? Those are gorgeous.
Yeah, I think it's because they just cheaper. Just like why we see contemporary romances with clip art. It's like it's a business decision. And I think and I think also part of it too is we have the opportunity to, I think it's because of the younger demographic coming into it aren't aware of, and they just see it as problematic. And I think there's a way to like spin it on the more modern authors aren't writing problematic. That if they are, it's not often. But I think there's still a fair place or space for those people that's like me, that I like a little bit where it wasn't like the bodice rippers. I still love my bodice rippers, so read it just with that mind frame. But I also like, I think Hannah was talking about this too, the 2000s between like the late 90s, 2000s up to like 2015, we had like it was like the toxic a little bit. I forget. It wasn't like totally problematic, but there was a little bit of a toxic in the couples and
There's one that I read that it's Teresa Madero's. I read it in 2010. I still think of it, and I actually found it recently,
yeah.
and I just purchased it. Excuse me.
Those ones, like Lisa Kleypas from that time period, I'm like, for me, those are where all the good ones are. I'm like, maybe
Yeah,
we need to go
This
back
is
and
like
figure out why those work so well.
what Joanna
And I
was
still do.
saying.
look
Yeah.
at this
Too.
one.
Like
Yeah,
this
like
is a contemporary step back or like card that I got with a contemporary one. So it is coming back like to be popular, but then they're not doing it with, historicals anymore.
and I think they also think that historical fiction is they think it's like historical fiction where it's belabored in the history. And there are some that can be like that, or that's the writing style that because I find like I like a little bit of like the descriptions on like the clothing and other things of that nature, but sometimes I'm just here for the romance. So I think they don't understand, or I say they, but maybe there's a misconception that there's room for both.
I mean, look at the Highwayman. Look at um if you like dark romance, or if you like fantasy romance, you're gonna like historical romance because there's a lot of the same threads that are woven in both, in all
Which is
three.
probably why I love those are my two favorite genres.
Well, there you go. I like Sea of Ruin was one of the best pirate romances, and it was dark.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
I do like
Scarlet
Scarlet
that's
Scott,
another one.
Terry.
Scarlet's good.
And she
I
has
think
an
also, yeah.
extensive backlist on KU.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot. She
Yeah,
like almost at one point I think put out a book a month. And I was
Yeah,
like,
she has like 9 books this year already, and apparently indie might be where it's at too as well. That's really when the traditional spaces isn't giving us what we want. The indie authors are the ones that will be helped if we put more focus on it, like you're seeing on Book Talk with indie authors for contemporary. That will help, I think, give the attention if that's where we want it. And maybe right now it's just not popular, and that's okay.
It's
But
okay.
that will probably be how it comes back.
I don't think
More
Bridgerton helped, actually. I actually
does.
heard it a little bit.
I haven't heard of Caroline Lee or Mary Farmer.
I've heard of Mary Farmer, but I don't think I've read anything. I think I have something saved of hers that I want to read in like my Goodreads never-ending TBR.
You said they're prolific. I have 55 Mary Farmer in my mind. Well, that means we won't run out of any of our stories that we want to read.
Megan says she has The Secret on her TBR, and it came out the year she was born. I thought it'd be a fun read. That's cool.
Yeah. It's a really, really good one. It has such a good friendship dynamic between the two females in that book.
Yeah, and that's one on my I have The Bride, but I want to read more Julie Garwood. I'm like
my first Julie Garwood, I borrowed it from my roommate back in college, and it was The Wedding, and Connor and Brenna. It's the sequel to The Bride, and I loved it. It was so much fun. I actually liked it better than I liked The Bride, funny enough. Most people like The Bride better, but I think it's because I read it first, and I love how she's so forgetful and stuff, and he's like, she proposes to him when she was a little girl, and that's how he uses the justification to steal her and marry her, which was a lot of fun. And then Julie Garwood, at the very end, she teased the next couple in the series, but she never wrote it before she died.
I remember you saying that last time. Yeah, that's interesting.
That still bothers me to this day because I'm like, because she was like, because Connor's second in command, he was getting all antsy on his horseback, right? And her and Brenna's sister Faith was like getting ready to get off of neutral ground, which was the where the monastery, and he's like, if you step off that if you step off of the path, you're mine. And she's just like puts a foot out, and I was like, oh come on, I want to read it.
Yeah, I wonder if I had to do something with her publishing or something.
Yeah,
Maybe she didn't get it picked up.
no, I think what happened was she ended up doing she has a very big backlist of contemporary suspense, romantic suspense.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually read those the Buchanan series. She actually used the characters from her historical romances, and they were their ancestors, which I thought was a
Cool.
lot of fun. And so that's why I started reading them.
I can't find the Second Chance Manor on Amazon for some reason. So
It looks like it's a Scarlett Scott series, is what I looked it up. I think, yeah, the Second Chance Manor. It looks like it's a Scarlett Scott series. I found it on Amazon.
I looked up Second Chance Manor series by Caroline Lee. Maybe I did the wrong author.
Yeah, I think it's Scarlett Scott. And is this one, Terry, is this one about a bunch of girls that went to finishing school? Is she talking about that series? Because that sounds fun.
That does sound fun, actually.
If it is, I'm definitely downloading it.
I have been slowly going through Scarlett
Yes,
Scott.
that's what I found. Yeah. It's pretty, too. I love her dress.
I actually think I've seen that. I think I started reading it, but I never finished
Maybe
it.
on KU. It's Scarlett
No.
Scott on KU.
I have so many Scarlett Scott I need to read. I think I have the one that B read for the readathon. I have that one, I think, as a free ebook. So I'm gonna.
Nobody's Duke.
The one that's the one that's so close to Again the Magic. I think it's very similar.
Yeah,
to that
that's
one.
the one we read. Yep, that's a good one.
Because I need to read that one now.
I read Lady Ruthless and Nobody's Duke by Scarlett Scott, and I gave each of them a 4-star. Like, I enjoyed her writing. So, yeah.
I think it was Ruthless Duke. No, not Ruthless Duke. It was the second book.
For which one?
The one you were just talking about. I can't remember which one was the first.
Nobody's Duke is the first one.
Yeah, and then the second one was
I think you're right, Ruthless Duke. I can look it up though.
Her Ruthless Duke was. Now I'm getting myself confused.
Did you take cold medicine?
No, because
I'm kidding.
If I did, I'd be drooling.
I love the B under the skirt thing. That reminds me of the Bridgerton one with the Viscount Who Loved Me one.
Yes, that is still my favorite out of the 3. It goes the Viscount Who Loved Me, and then An Offer from a Gentleman. I'm a hate to love stan. I know some people don't like it, but I love it.
Oh, it's not Nobody's Duke. It's the League of Dukes. The second one was Heartless Duke.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Anybody's Duke.
Everybody's Duke. Remember? Anybody's Duke. Everybody's Duke.
It's called the League of Duke. First one is Nobody's Duke, then Heartless Duke, then Dangerous Duke, then Shameless Duke.
Every time.
Right? Scandalous Duke, then Fearless Duke. I've only read the first 2. Heartless Duke, so good. It was one of the best enemies to lovers I've ever read. Honestly,
Heartless Duke. That's the second one, right?
Yeah, Nobody's Duke is the first one, which I gave like 4.5 stars. I think I
gave it 4, yeah.
But I love the second one because the banter in that, where he kept calling her a banshee, and it went from being an insult to a term of endearment. I was like, I was sold on her writing when that happened.
Yeah, I love, like, she seems to like give nicknames. Like, she has the hero give nicknames to like her heroines, and in Nobody's Duke it was Ara Mine, and I was like, oh, I just love it. I love when they give like nicknames to female king characters that are like sweet and endearing. I don't know why. It gets me.
You know who's really good though is Lorraine Heath.
Yeah, I haven't read from her, but I do want to.
The Notorious Lord Knightley was one of my favorites from last year.
Okay.
That was with Lorraine Heath this month during a readathon. She said on her wrap up, I think.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
I love her. Like I've been slowly going through her backlist.
I haven't found one that I loved by Lorraine Heath yet, so I'm hoping. I've
Have you
usually gotten 3 stars so far,
have
but
you
not enough where I didn't hate it or I don't know. Like obviously, I'm still reading it,
yeah.
but I haven't found one that was like 4 or 5 star really yet.
This is the one I have on my to read, like on my actual shelf, and I've heard that this one is really good. So
Yeah,
I can't wait to.
I've only read 3 of hers. So one was a Western, which was I'm not a big. It has to
Not a
be
big
very
Western
specific as
fan.
a Western. Yeah.
Oh, I hate
The only one that I
westerns.
really like is the True Love one by Millie Criswell. That has been that one and the For the Roses one by Julie Garwood. Has
Yeah.
only been the ones that I've liked. I really love.
Yeah, what did I read? I read Tempest by Beverly Jenkins, and that's kind of like it's based in the United States, and it's like Old West, and like she's like a mail order bride, and I thought that one was okay. I definitely liked Indigo better. Yeah, I'm not a Western fan either, Megan.
I do not like westerns. Give
But
me
you
ball
like Lorraine Heath, so that's good.
give me ballrooms.
Give me ballrooms.
One of my favorite ones of her, and Samantha from Books with Samantha calls this the Gorilla Twins, and it's the Earl Takes All.
Oh yeah,
I want
That
to
yeah.
read that one. That one
oh
looks
That's
my
that's
so good.
I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was the funniest thing that I was like, Gorilla Twins, what are you talking about? So I um read it and I was like, that is fantastic. Because it's about uh the two the Earl and his brother, they go on an African safari, and the younger brother I guess pokes at a gorilla, and the older brother, who's the Earl, steps in and ends up getting killed by the gorilla. So, hence the Gorilla Twins. And so the younger brother promises to pretend to be the older brother, who everybody loves, but nobody likes the younger brother. And because his wife, who's had problems with infertility, is pregnant and they don't want her to lose the baby. So he goes and pretends to be his brother, but secretly he loves his brother's wife. And oh, the angst is fantastic in that book. I loved that book so much. It was so much fun. My favorite part was when he went to his own funeral and everybody was like, yeah, he was okay.
Oh man.
I was
that's
like,
funny.
oh,
She's like, Megan said if she starts her own channel, but she should, it should be
Yeah.
Lorraine Heath read along, but it would be too long and too many books. Maybe do a series
Yeah, do
every
like
couple
a
months.
series of Lorraine Heath. I'd totally do it with you.
Every couple months, yeah.
Yeah.
And then give people a month and then every other month and to read that series. That might
Hmm.
be doable because a lot of them probably only like 4. I think most is maybe 6 in a series.
yeah.
In Bed with the Devil by Lorraine Heath was pretty good. I really want to read The Notorious Lord Knightley.
You need to read the
That one,
Latourist one.
that new series. Yeah, I got that new series. I'm like, okay, I want to read this one now. I heard
That
such
sounds good.
good things
I,
about the second book because it's second chance.
I didn't read the first book. I just went to the second book, and I'm so glad I did.
Okay, I'm gonna do that then because like you know me, I'm like, oh, I need to read it in order then.
You really not with this particular one. That that
Okay.
that one is just so good.
Okay,
I
I gotta go straight to the second one. Maybe I'll add it to my June TBR
yeah, you should.
on the fly. It'll takes all was recommended to me. I don't know. I read the first one and I
I just
started
read
reading this
it.
one.
I just read it because when she called him the girl that wrote the ones, I was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna read it, and I was not lost at all. It was just so good. I
I
had a
think the
great
first
time.
one was the other one of the other friends, or was it the other brother?
Hold on, I gotta
The
let my
first,
cat out.
fine. So yeah, I don't think it was any. I don't think you're gonna lose anything if you just go to that one because I read the first one and I started the Earl Takes All, but I got distracted by other things. So like, as I do.
It happens.
Yeah, it's Lorraine Heath sounds from what I've heard, a lot of it's bonkers. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
sound.
I feel
The
like that
plot
she
is
seems her plots are they're actually intriguing to
dramatic,
me.
They're fun. They are a lot of fun.
intriguing,
They
dramatic, and fun. Yeah.
can't take them seriously. So if you want a serious plots, I would do Lisa Kleypas or
Like
Julie Garwood.
emotional, deep, like swooning kind of, yeah.
Yeah, more swoony. But if you want a fun kind of a bonkers plots, Stacey Reed, Lorraine Heath. Have you
Julia
read?
Quinn is good for I liked her because of the communication, the banter, and the back and forth.
Yeah,
That was very stimulating, and I think Tessa Dare is good for all three of those: the emotional, the banter, and the funny. Like she does that really well.
Yeah.
yeah, she does. You know who
I'm ready for
that.
fight.
Kate Bateman's A Daring Pursuit, the Rivals series. That was a very solid series. That was a really good series.
Yeah, I think I have all of hers on my backlist.
I still need to read Judith McNaught.
Yeah, I have one of hers that
I have the original Whitney, My Love, and the original Kingdom of Dreams. And I was like, and I know they're very problematic. And I was like, I think I still want to read them.
All right, so people in the chat, it's already been an hour, and we still haven't done our sprints. Do we want to do sprints now, or are we don't care and want to do the book thing and then go with sprints? So it's up to you guys in the chat. Do you want to do sprints now?
I'm gonna vote sprints now, but we can wait.
And if you want to get some reading done before. Oh, and you guys do have you have an extra day to submit. So I know the time change. So you have until June 1st at 11:59 p.m. Okay, sprint. Awesome.
Ooh, that means if I can get through this book, A Scoundrel Run by Stacey Reed, I could black out my board.
I blacked out my board, but I'm not submitting it because I'd rather have other people get it.
I submitted mine, but
that's fine.
Yeah, no, I was like, I'm gonna let other people who are not hosts do it. That was just me because that's the way I roll. I was just happy to do it, and I was just happy to be.
Yes, it's been so much fun.
So I was just happy to do it.
Awesome. All right, well, let's do what time is it? Okay, it's almost 9, so in my time, in Eastern time. Do we want to do 15, 20, or 30?
Do you want to do to 9:20? Well, it's 8:20, 8:59 now.
Yeah.
Eastern Standard. So do you want to just go to 9:30?
Yeah, we can do that. I actually already have a banner for that one.
Like a 30-minute. Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Perfect.
There we go. Let's read the 9:30.
Awesome.
Hello.
Hi.
How was your sprint?
Pretty good. I got a little bit of reading done, but mostly I just made sure my kids got, through the bedtime routine and into bed. So they're pretty, they're mostly independent, but they like to be a little sly and not want to go to bed.
Yeah.
How was your sprint?
Should probably unmute myself.
There you go. Good. I read a chapter of These Hollow Bells by Lexi Ryan. So trying to figure out what's going on like in the world.
Is it like world building right now?
Yeah, it's weirdly, have you read, I forget what it's called, but it was basically where this fantasy where it kind of like The Bachelor,
Oh,
that series, because she's human and she goes to the Fey world not wanting to, and her best friend, she finds out, is the prince, and to keep her there and safe, because she's running from somebody, whatever, she has to be part of the candidates to be his
yeah.
bride.
Yeah.
And but she's introduced to another character who's dark from the different land. So there's Seelie, her friend is from the Seelie, he's a prince of the Seelie, and then the Unseelie. So you got to figure out who the love interest is. I'm
Oh,
guessing
okay.
it's gonna be Unseelie one. I'm guessing, but I don't know. We're still trying to figure out how she has her magic, what's going on, that kind of thing. So
Okay. That's
it's
intriguing.
interesting. Mhm. Reading journal, nice. I still haven't been able to. I just don't. I love watching people do reading journals, and I wish I could be crafty and
I do
creative like
a bullet reading journal. This is my first year doing like a bullet reading journal. I've done like pre-made ones years prior, and it's been fun. I've been enjoying it. It's been like a creative outlet. Sometimes I'll listen to an audiobook and do it. So it's been fun.
That's awesome. If you read a few pages of my fantasy books, I took a pause from. Yeah, yeah. It's nice after the readathon to. I recommend just so you don't get burnt out switching.
Mm-hmm. My
I did a
next one
lot.
is going to be Iron Flame. So,
Hey, finally.
right? About time.
Yes. I like to do like a big fantasy, then like use historical romance as like a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah. What about you,
Uh,
Monica? How was your trip?
well, I finished Irresistible. I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
Okay.
The others I gave like 3 or 3.5. This one was when I she's a single mom and the dad is a piece of crap and she comes in and to the small town where her friend moved to, and the friend's new brother-in-law is a doctor, and he just it's a sweet romance. So
Okay.
it was solid. It was good.
Did you like the Did you like the narration?
Yeah, the narration was good.
Okay.
Mm.
Samantha Cook does a good job. So
Okay.
I've been hearing about her recently. I just haven't been able to get to. I went on a big stint, I think, in 2021 or 2022. I forget one of those years. I got really into contemporary for for a big brief stint. That's the word, stint.
Yeah.
yeah,
I haven't been
I
able
go
to.
through all. I don't
Yeah.
really
I
care.
usually like to pair contemporary sometimes as like a one a month or something like that.
Yeah,
Get my something different that I need.
Yeah.
I like
I do quite a
Mafia
bit
a
of
lot.
contemporary.
Mafia makes
I do. Mafia is so good. I need to get back into that.
2 of my 5 stars was Shattered Secrets by Lillian Harris and Soldier of Death by M.G. Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Soldier of Death is about our heroine sells her virginity to get out of an arranged marriage because she doesn't want to be in the mafia. She doesn't want to be a mafia wife, and her betrothed is a horrible human being. And her dad finds the money, and he forces her to still get married to this guy. And on her wedding day, she gets kidnapped, and when she's being thrown into the trunk, the guy who bought her virginity was the guy who was kidnapping the bride.
Oh, that seems fun, like a fun premise.
Yeah, who was her dad's enemy. It was a lot of fun.
That's kind of cool.
Yep.
The Duke Heist is Erica Ridley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the first one or the third one in that? I think it's in this series, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's the first one. It's the first one that I read of hers.
I think it is the first
I
one.
haven't read beyond that because I didn't really like it, but that's just me.
Terry, how are you liking it?
And Megan's bullet journal, I think she said inspired by Terry's Foreman, actually. So she just writes a summary of my thoughts. I need to check out your bullet journal.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that, Megan. That makes me happy. I worked hard on it. So that makes me happy.
Did you do a video on your journal?
Yeah, for the beginning of the year. I'm going to do a 6 month, or not a 6 month. Yeah, I think so. Like a halfway through the year check in to just kind of see. Because I thought that I've been enjoying doing it.
First one, okay.
Okay, so it is the first one.
Awesome.
I just have a Excel spreadsheet.
It works too.
And I'm tracking all the narrators and how many books based upon the narrators.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Because I'm curious to see if because I don't ever really remember, except for the bigger ones. I don't always remember who I'm reading from, for authors as well as for narrators. So I was like, well, I want to see. So I'm tracking it.
Yeah.
I'm a bad booktuber. I'm usually like, I'll leave a review on Goodreads, like 1 or 2 sentences. I used to like do like really in depth. I'm like, makes it feel like too much work, so I try to remember as best that I can.
Yeah.
The premise and how it made me feel, and what I liked about it, and what I didn't when I talk about it. But like, I'm so bad at just doing reviews. I'd rather just talk about it on a video, kind of thing.
Same. I use my book journal like for like my review videos because like it gets my thoughts out, and then I use that as like a guide because sometimes like I'll read a lot of books and then I'll forget, and then there's just life. So my brain can't keep it all in there. So it helps.
Because sometimes I struggle with my recent reads, and I haven't done recent reads for a while, so I need to do it for this whole year. And planning the readathon and everything. I haven't done anything.
Yeah. The reason why I do a lot of audiobooks is because I have ADHD. For me to be able to focus correctly on things, I have to have something in my ear, and honestly, audiobooks are the best thing for me. So that's why I do them.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Yeah, I find I can only do it when I'm listening in the car or like grocery shopping or something, because I usually like to like physically read with an audiobook, because I struggle with that. My work is very like, I have to like, I can't listen to anything with words. I can listen to like music or like just those focus things on Spotify.
Those put me to sleep.
I just can't. Well, for me, my brain is like too much, and it's too much noise, and I'm like, I can't focus. So I find it's very strange, and I like, it's the only time when I'm in a car that I can really, when I'm doing something that's not using that part of my brain, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. For audiobooks, it has to be, I want to say kind of like a rote task, like something I do all the time, because it has to be like cooking dinner or driving like home from work, like something I do every day so I can focus on the audiobook.
Yeah.
Versus like if I'm doing something else, I can't I'll have to like rewind and be like, what did I do? Or like going on a walk, I'll walk my dog, things like that.
Yeah, but I mean that's just me. I'm a little weird with it because simply because I'm
It's a different, yeah,
yeah, I'm
focus. Yeah,
neurodivergent. I don't
yeah.
I'm not autistic, but I have ADHD, so
Yeah.
it is the thing. Listen, it's so bad that my daughter could not find the plug to her Nintendo Switch for the life of her, and I knew I had put it somewhere. It was in the food pantry. It took us like 5 hours to find that thing.
Oh
And I
no.
just wanted to go make dinner, and there it was in the food pantry. That's how bad it is. It's pretty funny, honestly. I laugh about it.
That's funny.
Megan didn't like audiobooks
Maybe,
for a long
yeah,
time.
maybe that she leaves reviews and not just starting. I write down my thoughts in my journal. I don't want to type it up too. I still need.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like,
That's the thing too. Like I feel like I with a booktuber, like especially if I'm doing an arc, it has to go in like multiple places. So like I do an Instagram review, I have to do a NetGalley review, I have to do a Goodreads review, and then I do a video review. And I was like, sometimes arcs are hard to keep up with too, just because of like all of it.
Notes.
yeah. I usually put like it in my notes app on my phone, and I'll copy
Yes.
and paste that to Amazon and to
Oh,
Goodreads. But like doing
That's what I
videos
do.
in one place, I'm like, I would like to use Goodreads, but then that becomes like it's a whole thing. I'm like, so
yeah.
you'll see me with my tablet because I'm on my Goodreads trying to go my notes what I had said.
I
My
know.
notes app, and I make sure I have all the hashtags that I need already in there, ready to go, so I can just copy and paste wherever I need to be.
That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah, because if not, I'm like, there's so much. And like Megan, I'll sometimes only like, especially if it's like an older book that I know people aren't that interested in, I'll just put the star review because I read a lot of backlists too. So like not just the new ones. And so like I'll just put a star rating and not a full review.
Yeah, especially if it was something I really didn't have, or if I didn't necessarily like it. I'm like, I don't want to be all my reviews to be me ranting about something.
True. That's true as well.
Like, like why did we like, this part was not fun or whatever, and just move on.
I don't actually
Yeah,
rate past 3 stars on Goodreads. If it's
you what?
lower than that, if it's lower than 3 stars, I just won't rate it. I'll keep it unrated.
Mm.
Mm.
The only
And
books I
also,
don't rate are nonfiction. I don't rate nonfiction because I always feel like usually the nonfiction I read is somebody's life. So I'm like,
yeah.
I don't feel like I should rate your life. So I
Well,
don't.
I did with Britney Spears. And I did with Paris Hilton because I
Did
felt
you?
like the way because Paris Hilton's memoir was actually really good. And
Really?
yeah, and
I would leave
I
a review, like a written review, but I wouldn't. I
right.
just, something
I
about it
I
feels
was
wrong
like,
to me.
no, if
I
I
feel like with as long as it was something well written, I'm like well written, it's gonna get a 3. But if I really was impactful, then it's probably gonna get a 4 or 5. I don't think I
yeah,
would re-rate somebody's like nonfiction. I don't think I would rate it lower than a 3 for me
Mm,
no,
personally.
no. If it's below a 5, I won't rate it. Um,
Mm.
because I just like I read Spare and I was like the first part was really interesting and then it just became a big diatribe of too much information. Stuff I really
There's a
did
lot of
not need
train
to
of
know.
thought. Yeah, I see. I rated that
Yeah,
one a 3. So I'm like, it wasn't. I liked learning about the details of his perspective on his life and everything, but I'm like, there was parts that were weird. So I'm like,
I'm
but I
like,
was never gonna rate it lower than a 3. And
yeah,
it wasn't that I didn't like it either or anything like
and
that.
that's
So
and
it's
that's why I left
solid.
it on. That's why I left it on unrated because I was like, I can't give it a 5.
right, Megan, right? Here, that's a 3 star.
See, though, that's where I'm like,
That's just
it's
why
diff-
it's a personal
see,
thing for
it's
me.
different me for personally. I see it different. I'm like, it's not like you don't rate like April says it best, like a weird romance, you're gonna rate that different qualifications. So like for me
Mm,
for nonfiction, it's a different qualification. Like I said, I'm like as
Like the
long
hot
as
tub
it was
romance.
impactful to me and it was well written and everything, 4 and 5. But if it
Yeah,
was, I'm never gonna to grade you down to there unless it was just like one word on each page. Then obviously you're doing this just for the money.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's 3.68 stars. We got to round up then. It's a 4. Oh my goodness, that's funny, Terry.
It's more I
I
like
mean,
it or I not like it. That's
that's
really
fair.
what it is.
Yeah.
See, I like to do it like that's why I do like the 5-star, like it's really basic. And I don't do any halves or anything because like my brain's too many options. I get paralysis of the analysis. 5 stars I absolutely love and would read again. 6 stars is like
All
extra
time.
special to me.
Yeah.
4 is I really liked it. 3 is like I liked it, solid. Maybe not for me, depending on what it is. Maybe not my taste. 2 is I didn't like it, and 1 is probably absolutely hated it, and maybe even DNF'd it halfway through kind of thing. Something about it was horrible to me.
I don't think I've ever on Goodreads like
Remember that
given
one.
a rating like lower than a 3-star, because for the most part I feel like I get something out of it, and there isn't anything that has been like glaringly like horrible or like nothing. I don't know. I am like I say this in every video, like take my reviews with a grain of salt because I am such a high grader. I'm like, oh, it made me laugh. 3-star.
Listen, the one thing I cannot stand is stupid characters. Like characters who make so many dumb decisions that will make me rant about a book. Lady Charlie's Lover, duh. That book still drives me crazy. And people are like, oh, it's making it into a movie. I was like, well, I don't care. I won't see it because I'll think she's a freaking idiot through the whole thing.
Lady Chatterley's Lover, I feel like was good for its time because I think it brought a knowledge, and I'm glad that I read it, but like I think I gave it like a 3-star. It was
I'm not glad I read it. I'm not glad I read it. That book hit the wall. I was so angry.
I feel like too, like, but it did something for romance. Like that's why I couldn't rate it lower because back then, like that was like an explicit scene and you didn't have it.
I know.
In like general population of books. So I was like, okay, I can like it for what it was meant to be, but I did not enjoy reading it.
Listen, her and her husband made such stupid decisions. I was like, I cannot get behind you guys. You guys deserve everything you're gonna get. Because it was like that Harley LaRue book, Her Soul to Take. That and I was talking to my McKay about this because McKay's like, you gotta continue on with the series. I was like, but that's cute. That girl, she knew they were hunting her, and she was at a party, and she still took this red Solo cup and drank from it and wondered why she got roofied. Why are you being so dumb?
I haven't read that one, but yeah.
Well, that one, like, and then I read the next 2 books, and they were fantastic. They were not dumb characters. I cannot stand a character making a dumb decision. It drives me crazy. Unless there is a reason for it. Like Lord of Scoundrels. I got so angry with that book within the first 5 chapters because the way they were talking about her brother, because the way she wrote the way Lorraine, I think it's Loretta Chase, wrote the brother sounded like he had a developmental disability. Like he was just he didn't have all his faculties, right? And they were basically making fun of him, which I'm a special education teacher. I have kids with special needs. That is just wholly offensive when people make fun of someone with a developmental disability. So I literally had to slam that book shut. I was like, no. And then Christy from Christy Reads Law, she's like, you need to give it another chance. I was like, all right. And I got past the chapter 5 because I was still like, oh. And then it was such a great romance after the first 5 chapters.
I enjoyed that book, yeah. I didn't notice that they were like I didn't take it that way. I just thought that he was like a rake and he was being ridiculous and like doing things he shouldn't. Like I didn't take it as like he had a disability, but I mean everybody takes it differently. So as a reader, because we all come into books with different like backgrounds, knowledge,
Well,
and
yeah,
stuff like that.
exactly.
I actually
Whereas,
sometimes learn more about the 1 or 2 stars reviews where it tells me where I actually want to read it, and where I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably something I wouldn't like if that was the things they didn't like about it, or if it was that bad to them. So I'm
Yeah.
like, it's kind of, I like those, appreciate those more, because sometimes the 3 stars aren't helpful. Sometimes the 3 stars are helpful, but then sometimes those ones, and they're funny to read sometimes when people leave 1 star
oh, I know.
Yeah.
I
review
get a kick out
comment. I'm
of
like, that's fair. I'm like, that's fair. That's funny. That's great.
And then sometimes I feel like there's like there's a book, like it might be like my favorite, and I'll read a 1 star, and I'm like, okay, fine, but I was
Okay.
like, maybe you're not the audience for it.
One of my absolute all-time favorite books is Wrong by Jana Aston, and it is a rom-com about a girl who has a hard time with men, and then she's like, I have a boyfriend, so I'm gonna go to see my gynecologist and get on birth control. There's this guy that comes into the coffee shop she works in, which is called Grind Me, and she's always thought he was hot. Come to find out, it's the gynecologist, and she has on her socks on that says "sexy B." I see, you know, and I'm like, and it was so funny. I understand why people don't love that book, but I laughed so hard at the secondhand embarrassment, and it was so much fun that I love that book. So I mean, it still lives rent free in my head because it's so fun. And she is not, I know she's not for everybody, but I just love her sense of humor because her characters are quirky, but not in an obnoxious way. And they all have different, unique personalities. And I feel like she's underrated.
Yeah.
But
And Carrie's point too is like, I don't have to talk about books I didn't click with. Yeah, you can. I think it's to anybody's preference. It's a free world. You have free will. You can do what you want, and it doesn't. Nobody's right or wrong. We can
Yeah.
disagree, but
I
I mean, it's
definitely
for
don't
preference, really.
like
Like, it's not gonna hurt
if
me
it's a
any.
book
Like,
I
it doesn't
don't
hurt my
like, I'll
feelings.
let you know, but I don't like I hated this book. I don't rant over. I'm just like, hey, it wasn't for me. Didn't like it. Just so
See,
you
now I
know,
can
if you know what
feel
type of
a little.
reader I am.
yeah,
I can feel a
I
little
will.
hurt when people have been talking crap about my Bridgerton and Ben and Benedict, but that's okay. It's when I'm like, okay, guys, I get it. You don't have to keep beating the horse and hurting and stabbing my heart each time. Like, okay, I'm gonna click off now because get a little
I
too negative around here.
Yeah.
I will I will rant to certain people about certain books because I know they get it or if they like it and we just talk it through. But on my channel, whenever I do my wrap ups, I only talk about the 5 stars because I only want to talk about positive things. Don't
Mhm.
ever, because at the end of the day, these are pieces of artwork and
Mhm.
it's subjective. I can like it. Like, there's artwork that we see every day that I think is kind of crappy, but that's okay because that's just me. But I'm not going to rant or get angry about someone's work because it takes a whole heck of a lot of time and effort for them to be writing this stuff. And I would never do that to anybody. But I will say something to like my close friends. I'll be like, yeah, this really didn't work for me because of this, this, and this. And then we just sort of like, yeah, wonder why, but that's okay. But
Yeah.
I don't ever do that on Goodreads. I just will say it's not for me. It might be for you because of this, this, and this. Um,
Yeah, I don't usually get that. I just, it's preference. I'm like, hey, that way for me, my taste. And like, if someone's been watching me for a while or watch my views, they know when I say something, then they're like, okay. But like, I know someone else has different taste in me. Like, oh, that actually will work for me. So like, so they know that kind of information. So
like
for me,
there are
that's fine. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
there's
rather.
1 star reviews where I read 1 star reviews and 2 star. I read all the reviews, not just the high reviews, because I found some of my favorite books in 1 star reviews because of the way they rated them. So
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
subjective.
Hmm.
It's all, and then like it's just helpful to know, like that's why I did a rating system or video, just so people would know that's what so they had that context on how I rate on my personal thing if they
Yeah.
wanted to know. But yeah. And then this is a pet peeve of mine.
Yes, Megan.
I'm like, I don't have time to go through and read parts of a sentence and then see a meme and then go down.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So I
Yes.
get
Yes.
that.
Yes. 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 It drives me crazy.
Yeah. Just get to the meat of it.
Terry, it's okay, Terry. I understand.
Terry, I feel the same way. You're not the only one. It was
It's
good,
okay. You're
but it
just
wasn't
wrong,
as
Terry. It's fine. No.
it was good, but it wasn't Cam
JK.
level good. It wasn't Beatrix level good.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it
that's
wasn't a
Used to
5-star for me, but I enjoyed
that
the
one.
road.
Yeah, that
I
one
enjoyed it.
changed. Again, the magic changed my brain chemistry when I read it. Like literally, it was one of those when I read it.
Changed you.
It changed me. So
It
yeah,
was an
that was
impactful
the
book.
impact. Well, do we want to go to the second half of the books?
I'm going to leave you guys here because I have to get my daughter to bed. Make sure she
Okay.
actually goes to bed.
Mm.
So
Awesome.
I
gotta
know.
because it's almost 10 o'clock my time. So I will leave
Alrighty.
that list. You guys have a great time and enjoy the books. This was a lot of
Alright,
fun. Thank you.
thank you so much for joining.
Bye,
Bye.
Monica.
Bye. Okay, so before. Oh wait, Megan said I need to reread again the Magic Inn. I remember liking it, but not much else. Yeah, it's always a good one to reread.
Yeah. I feel the same way, Terry. If it's not something that is really like cemented in my brain, then
Yeah,
I know it's not either an all-time fave or like a 5. And I can
yeah.
usually tell by the first little bit, usually.
Yeah. All right, so this is a lot smaller, lot less. So
Okay.
the two paperbacks. I'm guessing it looks like I can have like each box be 9. So
Oh,
as I saw the pictures, so these ones are trade paperback size and pocketbook hardcovers size as
okay.
well. So these two are the trade paperback ones. I have Beatrice Small, To Love Again.
Oh,
I don't
look
know
at
if
that
anybody.
cover.
Yeah, it's interesting. And it
It's
is
something.
embossed. The hair and the tan is a little interesting.
And the chest.
Yep.
It's all out.
When was this published? I really need to know. 1993.
Wow.
And it's the first edition.
Oh, cool.
1999. And then we have another one by Beatrice Small, A Moment in Time. It's like a medieval, and these are embossed too.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I love how he's carrying her. It looks almost like Dracula-esque.
Yeah, it looks like it's almost like a
Gothic.
fantasy because I always see medieval and historical romance
Ah,
and I'm thinking it's a fantasy because
yeah,
it's not that popular of a genre in historical romance as, Regency. So
yeah.
it's always interesting. And this one is 1991, first edition as well.
Ooh,
Got that one.
cool.
And then we have one of my favorite authors that's a little more, I think. I found her books to be spicy. They're good but it was back in the day, so I don't remember how spicy it is now. I need to reread her. But I have a Christina Dodd, Barefoot
Okay.
Princess.
Yeah. I haven't read any
Mm.
Christina Dodd, but I have one on my shelf. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. I love it. Are they laying on a blanket?
Yeah, it looks like it's a blanket and then a grass with like
Oh my
meadow.
goodness, that
Wow.
is stunning.
You see
Beautiful.
the glare of my screen. That's a pocketbook hardcover.
Gotcha.
And then I saw this one at a library store. I found the mass market one, but then recently I found this pocketbook one, which is also really cool too. It's a Highland romance. I see like it has like really high ratings on Goodreads, so I'm really,
Mhm.
really, really interested in trying it out. But it's Taming the Scotsman by Kinley McGregor,
Oh.
and it has this really, really pretty,
Oh my goodness, that is so pretty.
like,
Wow.
aesthetic.
Are they it's like a castle, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
like, he's not wearing a shirt. He's got this interesting, he looks like a rock star kind of buckle thing. I don't know. It's kind of,
Yeah. He's got those muscles flexing and he's got his hand wrapped around her. Ooh.
he's
Hello.
got business in the front and party in the back kind of going on.
I mean, that's the only way to be.
Right.
Yes, Megan, they do look great. I love it.
I don't think this one, yeah, this one doesn't have the additions on it, I don't think.
Mm.
But it's interesting, yeah. So I always like these like hardcover pocketbook ones, so
Yeah,
kind of
those
nice
are neat.
sometimes. And then we have a Stephanie Lawrence from
Mm.
the Bastien Club again, which I don't know if I have. Hold on. What did I do? Do. We talked about Stephanie Lawrence.
We did. There's
Trying to
one, I
find.
think.
Oh, it's on the bottom. This one's a lady song. Okay, so it's not the one. So it's from the same series, but it's not the ones that we had shown earlier on the mass market.
Gotcha.
Um, it's A Lady of His Own, like the other one in that series,
Mm-hmm.
in the Bastien Club.
Okay. Ooh. I
It
mean, it looks
has,
pretty like a beachy. So gorgeous. I wonder if it's pirate. I don't
yeah, it
know.
looks
With
like
the
it's
beach
got
scene,
the
that's where it goes in my brain.
yeah, it's anytime I see water.
Yeah. Anytime I see water, oh, it's got to be pirate.
No, it says smuggling gangs near Charles Cornwall home. So baby's got smuggling
Oh, okay.
and spies and smuggling.
Ooh,
Sounds interesting. And it's
that one's intriguing.
2004. It was published, and this one doesn't have the edition mark. That's what's the number countdown,
Mm.
which is interesting. But yeah, we got that one, and then
That back cover was pretty.
yeah, and now we have two Hannah Howells here. We have these ones don't have the back step back on the cover, but we have If He's Sinful. I haven't read this series, or I just knew Hannah Howell is a pretty popular author. Yeah,
True.
I know. Give me a good spy novel.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Get a little suspense in there.
definitely, Jerry. So I don't know. Have you heard of If He's Sinful?
No, I haven't read any Hannah Howe, but I used to see her a lot at my thrift store, but I hadn't heard
Mm-hmm.
anything about her.
Yeah, I think she's the same author as Shannon Drake, is what I've heard.
Oh,
Yeah.
and who's Shannon Drake? I feel like is that a pseudonym for something else too?
Yeah, so
For
this is this one that I was reading, I think is Shannon Drake is Hannah Howell basically. So she has
oh,
like two different pseudonym names.
oh, okay. And she's also Heather Graham.
Is it Hannah? Is she also Hannah Howell? Wait, did I get that wrong?
Hold on, let me make sure. Shannon Drake. It looks like, and then it comes up Heather Graham.
Oh wait, is Hannah Howell? Maybe
Now,
I
what?
probably
I
looked.
think she has 3 different names.
Oh, it is the same person. Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
I got that wrong.
No, but they're all 3. So Hannah Howe, Shannon Drake, and maybe not. Hold on.
Maybe.
Don't quote me yet.
Yeah, Shannon Drake is Heather Graham.
Okay.
But is
Thank you,
Hannah
Sarah.
Howell a pseudonym or is it just someone separate?
I'm going to look right
I think my
now.
brain saw the H and thought it was Heather.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. No,
Okay,
Hannah
let
Howe
me.
is just Hannah Howe, it looks like.
Okay, so it's a different person then. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So this one's Highland Fire. These look like Hannah Howell writes a lot of Highland ones.
Yeah.
I had picked up a medieval one. It was very, very historically accurate with like it had like the very Highland, the Scottish like accent and language,
Mm-hmm.
very thick, and I couldn't keep track. I'm like, I can't read this.
Gotcha.
So it was definitely older too as well. So yeah, this one I haven't heard of. And then one of my favorites, I found a nice hardcover. The last one.
Remembrance. Oh, that is pretty.
So like I own a hardcover of this already, so it was really cool
Yeah.
to find this one. So time travel, past lives. The romance is more. There's maybe one tiny little chili pepper because it's mainly the story, the
Okay.
soulmate story, and I love it.
Oh, I do love a soulmate story.
And then going back in time, it's very very emotional. I don't know. I just read this. I just love this one each time. So goes
Oh,
back in time to like Regency area, I think, and
yeah.
then she gets hypnotized again. It goes back in time to medieval at the beginning where the start of the curse was. So it was as they're babies and then kids and grows up. It's
I'm
awesome.
adding it to my Goodreads right now so I
Yeah,
don't forget because that
yeah.
sounds so good.
Because a night, what's the other one that we were? Because this one also, a knight in shining armor is also a time travel one of hers. Um,
Oh,
but this one,
did you
Remembrance, I
like
think
that one
is still my
better?
favorite. Say what?
You liked Remembrance better, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it's funny because it's around. I think Remembrance was in the 90s when she was moved back in time, and the Knight in Shining Armor was like early 80s, I think.
Mm.
But I think that what really threw me was the beginning of it,
Okay.
and they went to Elizabethan times too, so it was a different time period. Um, so the setup wasn't, so it wasn't bad. I really enjoyed it. It just wasn't as my favorite as Remembrance.
Yeah. I can't.
All right, so those are
Sounds
it. So the selections I have in the Discord, and I think you saw it. I shared on Instagram
fun. Mm-hmm.
and everyone in the chat. Does those make sense? Should I do 9 and 9 and 9?
I think that's a
Do
good idea.
hardcovers and trade paperback together,
Yeah.
and everyone gets an offer from a gentleman mass market paperback. I mean, if somebody says they don't want it, that's fine.
Yeah. I feel like you did an excellent job. Like
Oh,
it looks amazing. And I feel like it's like a drawing and it's something you get for free. People are going to love it, you
mhm.
know? Especially
Well,
bookish people who are getting books.
I know.
We love
Well, it
our
could be
books.
like, oh, I don't really want those ones in it. Like, oh, it's not a great book, or we don't put that one in there, that kind of thing, or they don't,
Mm,
no one's interested
gotcha.
in it. So, all right, well, I guess it's not. I'll do the same thing unless they. Okay.
See,
Are you?
Megan, you're amazing.
Again. Yeah, so I have quite a bit, and a lot of these were library book sales. I swear, it's like 50 cents. Sometimes they can be 25 cents. So
Yeah. Yes, very generous. That's so true.
yeah, it's well, you appreciate. Like I said, books are my love language. Reading and sharing my love. It's one of my love language, I guess you could say.
That's true. I do like gifting books as well. Or like gifting, receiving, sharing like my love of them. Clearly.
My obsession, whatever. I
Yeah.
think that's probably why I also like love letters and books, or like when they're writing back to each other.
That is I like that.
Just
Yeah.
like such your love. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Alrighty, so yeah, so definitely, I think what I'll do is I'll give everyone time till tomorrow. I'll probably try to start tallying on Sunday, and then I'll probably post it on the Ever After channel on Instagram, and then post in Discord who won.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea, yeah.
Can't find step backs in regular bookstores. Love used bookstores, and they are so cheap. Exactly.
True. That's very true. It's very rare. I think I found one only for Eloisa James in a Barnes and Noble that had a step back, and it was a newer release.
These were only $1 at the ones that I go to. Now
Wow, they're in great condition too.
Yeah, and there's been some hit or misses at that one because they, quality of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, it just depends. I live near a big city, so you have like a suburb, so there's a lot of library connections there.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know about library sales until a couple of years ago. And I'm like, wait, you can get books at libraries? Say what? And bring it home and keep it?
Yeah. I feel like I just moved states, so I moved from one state to another, and I was living in a very bigger city area, and I like had access to all of that, and then I moved to a very much smaller town, and now I'm like I have to drive an hour away for anything like bookish. I'm like, oh, yeah. We have a small library, but there's no sale.
Yeah, that was like where I grew up. It was a very small town, and where I found that True Love book was. It's literally there was a small library. There was no book sales, but like I had to go to an antique store, a small town antique store. So maybe one.
I know. I need to search. I have one thrift store, and I'm like, please. But every time I go, it's like I said, I only found 2 there. One was with a step back, and one was without. And then I've gone a couple other times, and they just haven't had books at all. Like they've only had like the nonfiction books. So, and I'm not always interested. Oh, I could. I mean, it would be an adventure. It'd be a trek. That's a good idea, Megan.
Well, Monica just posted that she went to like a book haul. She drove an hour away at one of a used bookstore because they really have what she likes. So that was fun to watch.
That's cool. I haven't seen it yet.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
see, I can see
nervous to do vlogs.
Yeah, see, it's funny because I can't listen to audiobooks because I feel like I gotta pack for it. But I like listening to somebody on YouTube. Because then I can just do, and that, yeah, it's weird. Like my brain, I feel like I have to like really listen to every word in the audiobook.
Yeah.
And do a visual, and then I gotta see it. It's like my brain has to do 3 different steps when I listen. So
that's
funny.
True. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I don't know. What do we want to do?
Totally up to you.
Oh goodness. It's 10:15. Do we want to do just a quick 15 one? Because I definitely want to wrap this up. It's getting a little late, but 15-minute sprint, and then we can just do a little chat and say bye and remind everyone for the details. I guess we can do that.
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
So yeah, we'll just do a 15-minute, or we can just leave now. I don't know. I want to give people a chance to sprint if they haven't been here.
Yeah. Let us know. Do you guys want to sprint or do you want to sign off? Let us know.
Because I'm good for either way.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like we're going to bed. Okay.
Yeah. Looks like Terry's like, good night.
Okay. Yes. That's good for me. All right. So last minute details. If you're watching a replay. Oh. Well then Joanna's like, I can sprint. Well, it looks like we're going to bed. To be honest. Okay, cool. All right. Well, Joanna, I will probably still be reading, so we can read in spirit. Oh, you are? Yeah, we're East Coast. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. So it's only like 7:15 or 7. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's late our time. So yeah, I think So yeah, that's it. So just submit your bingo cards in the Discord or DM the Ever After Readathon on Instagram. Just those are my either or would be easier because I want to be able to keep track of everybody. Um, all the links to everything will be in the Discord. I'll probably put the link into this live as well for the Discord, so you guys can go to that. I think that's it. So the deadline's June 1st, 11:59 p.m. I'll do my stuff on Sunday and then probably post on Monday. Do the drawing Monday or Sunday night, depending on what the kids are doing this weekend.
Megan. Yep.
Spirit reading.
Same.
Awesome. Okay, so I think that was all the details, I think, to be honest. So we'll do those. I think I'm going to do those 3 different boxes that I posted in Discord. That seems to be fit okay.
Yeah, I think those are great. You did a good job.
All right, and then I'll DM you either in Discord or in Instagram for your information to send that off to you once you win and such. So I make my way to the post office. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I am so appreciative of everybody just spending their time and joining because I didn't think anybody would want to join. I'm like, can I just create a readathon? Will people join?
Yes, of course.
Okay, good. I also didn't want to complicate it too much.
That's true. It was very like short and sweet and like manageable, especially like because sometimes it's hard when you're working and you're, trying to read and then you got family and all of these things going on. So it was lovely. You did such a good job.
Yeah, awesome. Because I also want to make it flexible. So if you're like me who can only read 4 books in 2 weeks, if that, you might hit a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, awesome. So I think I might do that. I'm probably going to ask you guys in Discord if there's anything that could be improved upon, but what we'd like to see next time. But I think I might do this next year as well. I probably won't do a full month. I don't know if I'll do a full month. I'll see what we want to do, but probably 2 weeks again or a 1 week one where we just hyper focus. Awesome. Yes,
Yeah.
I like customizing bingo cards too. Awesome.
Me too, Megan. Yeah, same. I liked that, Crystal.
Awesome. I'm so happy. Yay. My work here is done. Yes, Joanna found a new favorite, 6 stars for the Highwayman. I'm like, my work here is done.
Yeah.
I usually never make bingos. Yeah, I usually don't either because I'm such a slower reader than everyone. It feels like.
Yeah, I don't make bingos usually in month-long ones either. And I'll try, but it doesn't happen.
I get too burnt out. I get like everyone gets caught up in the excitement, and then it starts like life happens, and people get distracted because I get distracted. I'm like, and the enthusiasm filters out. So I just want to keep the energy and the excitement, and then people can either take a break or they can go, maybe they find a new love of down a rabbit hole. I don't know.
Yeah, I really enjoyed too that like getting back into historical romance because I feel like I was like, oh, I missed it. So that was good too.
Yeah. So same time probably next year, I might maybe do a romantasy version for October. Maybe a week in the first week of October or something. I don't know. We'll
That'd
see.
be fun.
I want to do a romantasy edition.
Yeah, I know B and I were talking about maybe doing a Clue in October.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. That's not set in stone at all.
Yeah, she said something like a Clue game in like a live show, or was it just like a Clue reader?
That's what she said. I think in our last live show together, she said that, and yeah, maybe we could figure out how to way to incorporate romantasy into it. I don't know.
Yeah, because I know Maggie has her romance readathon. I think it's in September this year.
Okay.
So yeah, or it can be November. It really doesn't matter to me. I'm like, I can just, and I want it to be short. Like, I don't want it to be a full month. I want it to be not a weekend because it's too short. like
Yeah.
a week to 2 weeks is probably how I would want it to be, and probably very similar. I don't know if I would want to do games or like teams, so that's the feedback I'm looking for. Are we okay with just making our own bingos?
Yeah, I enjoyed making my own bingo card. Yeah, Megan.
The murder mystery live show.
Yeah. That's gonna be fun.
So, all right. Well, I'll stop rambling.
You're fine.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. This was fun.
You all have a good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye. Good night, Megan.
Good night. It always delays, so I want to make sure people can see this to get a chance. There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.